Good morning. This is Dividend Coffee, and I'm going to call this video number 13, I believe, and it could be 12. I think it's 13. And I'm going to call this Trading Day because today I've done a couple of trades, and I'm actually watching the market live at the moment, and so I thought I'd anybody who'd like to see what I'm doing can watch what I'm actually up to at the moment. So it's 9:39, and I've just made a couple of pounds profit, I believe, and I'm now total returns are £67.58, and my rate of return is 15.8. And one of the things that I've actually done today is sell in and out of Greg's. Currently I've got 4 shares in Greg's, and in real terms I am a kind of beginner investor, so it shouldn't surprise. I think I've got a maximum of £1,075.08 in my account. So when you talk about proper investors, I don't consider myself a proper investor. May have like 20 or 30 or 50,000 or 100,000 in their accounts, and they'll buy and sell positions and make £50 sometimes, etc. Well, I'm making pence and maybe the odd pound. So there's the huge disparity in what I'm doing. I'm just an old age pensioner. I enjoy doing a little bit of this trading, and the goal for me is just to see if I can make 25 coffees, 52 coffees in and purchase them in Witherspoons free of charge, using what I make on the profits from trading, realized profits, and also on things like dividends, and also on interest that I accumulate as well through trading 212. So let's first have a look. Let's if we look here, you can quickly see that I've sold London Stock Exchange, sold some Greg's, sold Halifax, which I really wanted to get out for a long time. I was down around about £4 for about 3 months on this, and today it's just turned around, and I made a slight profit on it, and I bought into Greg's and sold them. I bought into London Stock Exchange, and I sold that as well. All of these things today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things today, and we can look at the results straight away. So my realized profit now has gone up to £75.15. Dividends are still at, I don't know if they've increased since the last video, but they're at £5.73, and interest is at £2.69. So that's where we're at on that, and So let's look at the London Stock Exchange, and I had a quantity of 0.185. They're very expensive, the shares are, in the London Stock Exchange, so I had a fraction of a share. But I managed to make 14 pence on that, and every little helps. And the thing is the reason why I sold was because I realised that I'd probably gone in a little bit too high, and I think the price will come down over the next couple of days, and I'll probably buy in again. But I thought I bought in a bit too high, so that's why I sold out of it. I thought I don't want to be negative on this one, and the London Stock Exchange is one of those shares that I tend to, if I do at all use it, it's a quick buy and it's a quick sell out, hopefully on the same day. And there's certain shares that I don't like to keep very long at all. And then there's other shares that are really good for dividends. I think the dividend on here is about 1%, so I'm not really bothered with keeping it. But there's other shares that like pay you out a dividend 4 times a year, and those are the shares that I do like to keep. So again, Greg's great great shares, but I really don't like to keep these long. I like to buy in when the price re-dropped recently, and so I've bought into them and I've just sold out of them. So today I made 68 pence, and that was just on one share. So at the moment, that's the best I've done with today with I think that's a really good thing that I've done with Greg's. I still got 4 shares left in them, so as you'll see a bit later, I could still sell out of those at any point. But I get the feeling that Greg's is going to go up a lot higher than what it currently is. Now looking at the graph, I think it's probably going to go up. It's been down for quite a while now, so I think it's time that it's going to go up. So I'm happy to sell out just one of those, and I think it might dip a little bit and go back up again a few times. So I'll do something similar, maybe put a little bit more in, maybe 2 shares or something. But I'm quite happy with the way I did that. And this is the one I'm absolutely ecstatic about. I really wanted to get out of Halfords for a long time now. I bought it, it went down a lot. I bought it because it was just going ex-dividend, and after that it went down for a long time, and today for some reason I don't even know why, but it shot back up, and I've made a nice £1.12 profit on this. So I'm really pleased about that. So I sold out of that straight away, made a £1.12 profit, and now if you start to add up all these pennies that like 68 pence I made and 14 pence I made, you're coming up to really now around about the £2 mark, roughly. So so yeah, I bought into Greg's and bought into Greg's. So that's what I've done today, and I'm really pleased with how that's gone. And it's now taken my total return on here and max up to £68.59. So even if I sold everything, even all the ones that are negative today, I'd still make £68.59. And I've now been doing this for about 6 months. So it's been a learning experience. And I suppose if I'd started off with a higher amount, which I wouldn't advise anybody to do, I think you should just build up very slowly and increase the amount slowly and increase your own learning about the stock exchange and how things work. And if you keep on doing it every day, you start to get a feel for it as well. So what you can buy and what you can't buy, and whether you're buying at too high a price or too low a price. So yeah, and the good thing about just doing it myself, I really can say to myself, well, that's low for a long time now. Sometimes it goes low for 3 months, and I'll just leave it until it comes back up. And so there we are. That's how it works to date. So at the moment, I've got 4 shares. I could sell out to Greg's today and make another £3.28. Okay, once I have a look at what just happened there. Right, look at that. They've actually started to go right up very quickly. B&M. And show the reason why. But that's reduced that down very nicely. And if I saw that at the beginning, I think I'd buy into it. But I've had this for a long time now, and it's been quite low for a long time. So I'm not going to buy into it any further at this point. And I'm just going to, I've got £88 in it already. And in relation to that, I've only got £1,000 plus in here altogether. I don't really want to put any more into this at the moment. But we'll just see if it goes above there we go. There's my anything above the dotted line I make a profit on. So if it goes above 5.6, I got my glasses on, so I just look twice then. I am an old age pensioner after all, so eyesight isn't as good as it used to be. And so if it goes above 5.6, then I'll make a profit. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, well, that's good news that that's slowly starting to move up, and that will bring up my total returns up as well. So that's not 15.8%, and I've got 1 share in SSE. How I kind of do this, I go through and I look at history. I look at what price I bought in for, and I look at the stamp duty of 0.08 pence. So I know that I've got to make 8 pence more than the return, really. So, and I don't know if they calculate it in, I'm not quite sure. Maybe somebody could tell me in the comments. Or do I have to just think I've got to get above the dotted line plus 8 pence? So I'm now at 10 pence. So even if I sold now, I get 2 pence more. And if we look at SSE over the year, it's quite low. So I think this might just go up a little bit more. So at the moment, and there's always that temptation when it's going up to buy into it, but also you can turn around and go back down. So it's something that is difficult sometimes to decide on. Let's have a look at what it's doing on the 1 minute. So it's trying to go up a bit with the green, and it's been pushed back down a little bit with the, in a sense, there's a red there really, so it's pushing it down a little bit. So the question is, will it start to move up a bit further or not? And and to be honest, this isn't one of the shares that I often buy into, so I really don't know much about it. So do I buy in a little bit more? I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll have a think about that anyway. And so I'd like to get out of Vodafone as well. I've been in Vodafone for a long time now, and it's I'm just hoping that this will just go above the 68.56 a bit, and I'll take some profit out of that. And I think it might just go back down a bit as well. But I think this should sort of move up to around above the 68, if not eventually up to the 72. But we'll see. I'm sure it will over time. And really, I think that's all I really wanted to focus on today. So this is probably sometimes I tend to have longer videos, and other times I tend to have just shorter videos. But I think I'm going to keep this video short, and it's been quite interesting, and just to sort of show what I'm thinking about in real time when I'm actually thinking about buying or selling shares. So, and I really do think, though, that sometimes when you kind of pre-analyze it and then buy in, you tend to do that, get better results than if you kind of change your mind on the fly. So it's like SSE now. If I just said, right, I'll buy another 2 or 3 shares in them, which I could do, but then it might just go all the way down and take quite a while to get back up. So it's just starting to do that now. So it's very difficult to really sometimes decide whether to do something on the fly. But normally, if you kind of analyze a position beforehand, you really have a good idea where you're going to be going with that position, or where you think it'll go. And it's like with Greg's. What I actually did with Greg's, I actually bought in at actually what I did was set a limit to 140, and I set a limit to, I think it was 154, and it was in between there at the start of trading. So my approach was that if it went up, then it would break the 254 and hopefully keep on going up, and I'd make a profit by buying in shares. And then if it went down to the 240 mark, then I thought it wouldn't go much lower than that, and I think I'd buy in a share at that point very, very cheap, and hopefully then that would make a little bit of money in the future when it went back up. So that was my approach to Greg's. We'll have to see what it does. I might buy some more in here eventually. What have I set it up for at the moment? So if it's back down to 150, I'll buy another 2 in. If it goes to 140, I'll buy another 1. But at the moment, I'm just going to sit tight and watch it. And at some point, I might sell out of it. But I think it has some prospect of continually going up. Again, I haven't been doing this too long. I've just been doing this now 6 months. So I don't have the resources. I'm an old age pensioner, and I put in a little bit each week. And I don't really want to have, I don't have the resources at the moment to actually put in a lot more, really. And so I saying that, I do regular save in other ways, with other money, a lot more money in regular saving than I put into this. So, but it's 60 plus. I'm in my 60s now, so I really don't want to be putting too much into the stock market and then everything going down. With the stock market, you could be prepared to wait maybe up to a year sometimes for stock to come back up, maybe even 2 years. So you really got to think when you're putting into like money in the stock market, you've got to consider it in terms of like it's like putting in a fixed term account for say a 2 year or 3 year account. You've got to think of it on those lines, that you can't really take any of this money out maybe for a couple of years if the stock market goes right down. So then you ask yourself, well, how much do I want to sort of keep in here if the stock market goes down? Because at the end of the day, if the stock market goes down, you may get some dividends, and hopefully, but if you have anything that you have like is a growth stock where you're trying to buy in and out of it, if that goes down, you get no dividends for it, and therefore you'd probably be better off putting the money in the bank and getting interest off it. So it's a very difficult, it's very, very difficult to decide. So, yeah, so that's where I am with my thinking on this. And but at the moment, we're not doing. Let's go back there. We're not doing too bad. So at the moment, I've got, as I say, 67.25, £67.25 profit to date, and I think if I was more adventurous, I could have probably doubled that by now, by again putting a lot more money into the stock market. But I'm trying to keep a level head on this, so keep it to the point where my learning is at the same rate as the amount that I'm putting in each week. I think probably that's the best approach for that, for this. So that's where I am, and yeah, I think I've got one subscriber at the moment, and if you find, I kind of tend to do a I think of this as like a podcast to myself. So I'm like discussing how I think about the stock market and how I think about shares, etc., from probably an old age pensioner's point of view, not from somebody in their 20s. So just a different view probably of the way I process my thinking to somebody who's a lot younger, who would probably take an awful lot more risk. So if you've enjoyed listening to this, and or thinking about doing something like this yourself, if you're an old age pensioner or in your 50s or 40s, etc., and you'd like to follow along with and see how well I do. So as I said, in the next year, I'm going to try and make enough to buy 52 Witherspoon coffees. They're around about the £1.60 mark. So as long as I make around about £100 a year, then that should complete that challenge. So I've calculated this year I need to make, because I was taken into 2024 as well. The 5 months I was doing it in 2024 plus this month, January in 2025, so it could bring it to around about 6 months. So if I do it for the whole of 2025, then I think it'll probably be around about the £150 mark I need to make by the end of 2025. So we'll just see how that goes. And yeah, I'm just enjoying doing this, and having fun. So anyway, if anybody is watching this and listening in, well, just thank you very much, and please subscribe, and I believe then that you'll be the first to know when I release a new video. So for now, thank you very much, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video that I make. Thank you. Bye for now.